YouTube, what's going on? Second City Sleepers here once again, Alex and Bill. Here to do our little Raw recap show. At the start of Raw, you had Cena come out, which was kind of felt like it was going to be a disaster. And he was going rambling on and on about I tuned out. Do you remember what he was talking about? Because I don't.
He was just talking about the main event of Raw that night and how it's going to be, Cena, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose versus Kane, Orton, and who was the third guy? It's 3 and 3.
Rollins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins. Sorry, man. And then he went on about that, and then Roman Reigns came out. Roman Reigns came in the ring, and Cena was trying to say that, well, we need to be a team, and he was going on, and Roman Reigns kind of told him,
yeah,
right,
Reigns came out and then
cut to the chase.
Yeah, he used to get to the damn point, John, and I was like, eh. So once Reigns came on, I started paying attention again a little bit. Then it ended up Ambrose ended up getting on the screen. And
Yeah.
once again, it was another Ambrose moment where we were just like, what's he gonna say next?
Yeah, which I thought that was good too. I like how Ambrose said what he said.
And he was a little calmer this time too.
Yeah.
When he was talking.
But that's, he's good in both ways. But I liked how what he said, and then he got jumped, and then I thought what was really cool about him getting jumped, and he got his ass kicked.
And he's like, is that all you guys got? I'm like,
yeah. And then I was like, that was cool. And then Seth Rollins gave him the
curb stomp on top of the little thing.
And then he was done for. But then I'm thinking
he was
the whole
taken
time,
to the hospital.
When I was watching it, I'm like, well, what is Cena and Reigns doing in the ring? Because they never pan back to the ring. I'm like, are they sitting in the ring watching it, or are they going to pan to him like
I was
running out
wondering
trying to
about
save
that
him?
when I was watching it, because I thought, are they going to run back there? And they never said.
They never did.
Never showed what they were doing or anything. I was a little confused. Yeah, it was.
That's how Raw opened up.
Yeah, it's another good segment with Ambrose coming in and all that, going on about Rollins with his little Heath Ledger Joker inside.
Yeah.
Then next up we had the Sheamus versus the Miz match. Who I wasn't really looking forward to it because Sheamus is just a better version of Cena in my opinion. It's the same routine over and over again with Sheamus.
Yeah, he's
instead of the 5 moves of doom, it's like the 7 moves of doom.
Yeah, and they're all fighting each other for the Intercontinental Battle Royal that will happen in Battleground.
Which I see Sheamus winning that and converging the 2 titles into one.
That's the only reason I would want Sheamus to win is to, put the 2 titles together.
I would just say get rid of the U.S. title and just have the Intercontinental title.
I agree with that. But in a little upset, what's his name won? I mean,
yeah, Miz won. Miz won in a little roll up. It wasn't a bad match actually.
Maybe that's like, which I always go with is if you lose the upper hand before the pay-per-view, then you'll get the upper hand at the pay-per-view. Yep. So maybe that's a hint of Sheamus maybe coming out on top.
And 9 times out of 10, when whoever loses a match before a pay-per-view, they usually go on to win that.
It's a battle royal, so it's kind of hard to predict. But
I know you want to win that.
Well, come on now. And we'll get to that when it comes to it with good old Bo Dallas, which I said he was 10 and Bo, but they actually said he was 15 and Bo this week. They actually said it, so I was like, wow, he must have
said Bo leave on the golf course today.
Well, see, did you do good? Maybe.
I didn't believe I did bad. Then after Miz beat Sheamus, they went on backstage, and Triple H and Stephanie had like a little makeout segment. It was confused me. It wasn't pretty. Because Triple H should not do that on television. Stephanie can do that all she wants, but Triple H, no. It was not pretty. And then there was not really much to say about that. It's pretty much all that happened. They talked a little bit. And then after that, you had the Ziggler match.
Yeah, with Fandango.
Yeah. Ziggler ended up winning. It may have been from an interference by Layla and Summer Rae, but still, a win's a win for Ziggler nowadays. And
Yeah,
it's always a good thing.
It seems like he's winning a lot.
Yeah, I think it might be the 4th one, less 4 to 5.
Yeah, so hopefully they're giving him a push more than, it wasn't really that big. I mean, it was a distraction more than interference because they had the 2 girls dancing on the commentator's table.
Yeah.
And Fandango got distracted and Ziggler hit him with the what do they call it now? They
The
still
zigzag
call it
famouser. Wasn't it famouser?
it's still the famouser they call it because the zigzags when he grabs him by the back.
But he finished him with the famouser.
With the famouser, yeah. He hit the famouser and he pinned him 1, 2, 3 pretty clean.
1, 2, 3, and then he walked out with 2 women. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then, oh god, I don't even want to get into this part. This guy had to poop on Vince's desk because he obviously works at Sonic now. I'm talking about Sandow. His little segment backstage review.
Oh yeah, with Adam Rose.
Don't be a lemon.
Yeah, Adam Rose is the pitch man for the WWE now. He was pitching the Mike's Hard Lemonade, or was that Mike's Hard Lemonade, or was it the other alcoholic beverage? I don't know. I can't remember which one it was.
I think Mike's Hard Lemonade just had a commercial.
Yeah, but remember it was with him and the guy that retired. Santino. Remember it was him and Santino Marella.
If it was, I might have tuned out because
that's I posted on
those
Facebook.
two.
I'm like, oh, WWE's promoting alcohol now. This is awesome. So I think it was Mike's Hard Lemonade, but I could be wrong. I think that's what it was. But Adam Rose was part of that, and now he's part of the Sonic.
And he's the new Sonic spokesman of the WWE.
He's the spokesman of anything in WWE now.
Well, Vince is already upset with him.
Yeah,
so
then
he's probably another one who pooped on his desk.
He's not going to be around for too much longer. I don't know.
No, he should. Bo Dallas should follow him.
No, Bo's got to follow him.
Yeah, you.
Yes, and
you.
And the other 20s and millions of Bo.
Hey, we'll get into Bo later. But after that, you had the Usos come running out, and Harper and Rowan pretty much killed them.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy might still be laying in the ring. I think he's dead.
But see, now if you watch the past episodes of Second City Sleepers, you will see that this guy right here, predicted that at Battleground it would be 2 out of 3 falls because of what happened throughout their feuds. And I'm like, I guarantee you that at the next pay-per-view, which is Battleground, which I didn't know it was going to be called Battleground, which I should have known, but I didn't. But I said the next pay-per-view, it's going to be guarantee it's going to be, or not guarantee, what I thought they should have done.
Yeah.
They should have done
Sure enough, that was announced.
Stuff.
I forgot you.
Yeah, I was like, that's the only way, because they won one, and then they lost one, and then the Wyatts won one, and then they lost. Like they kept doing all this, and I'm like, this is the perfect way to end it. 2 out of 3 falls for the WWE Tag Team Championships, and they're going to do it on Battleground, which I was like, yes, see.
Which it goes.
Once in a great while.
It's going to go back to the whoever looked weak going to the pay per view. The Usos did so.
So yeah, and
they're probably going to.
So the Usos might
end up winning.
Retain it. Yeah, with what happened. Sometimes the pay per views might shock you, but about 90% of the time, the people that get the upper hand before going into the pay per view will lose that match. So. If you could ever bet on wrestling, my money would be on the Usos winning that tag team title match. But we'll see.
I would say that. But moving on, next we had a segment that I thought was going to be very bad, and actually it wasn't too bad. It was the Rusev and Swagger when Coulter and Lana were talking back and forth. When they first announced it, I thought they were going to have Rusev and Swagger talking on. One's got a speech impediment. The other one can't even say war for Christ's sake. Did you hear him when he said war at the end of the speech? He's like, "This is war."
Yeah, he's.
Like, what the
hell? How I feel about him. I'm not a big fan. I don't know.
That's why I call him Borsev.
He's. But yeah, I thought I watched the whole segment. I didn't fast forward it or anything.
It reminded me of Rocky IV.
It was, yeah.
It was like Rocky IV mixed with Sergeant Slaughter and Iron Sheik.
Well, what's her name? What
Lana.
do they call her? Lana. She's good. She is. She's very good on the mic.
Shut up.
And she's very good to look at. But she can carry a segment, and she did. And I thought that Zeb Coulter, he's old, but he can still hold his own.
He's been managing since the Punisher.
Well, Punisher.
Undertaker?
What, the Undertaker was the Punisher?
Yeah.
When was that?
That was mid-late 80s. There's a picture of it on Facebook. I didn't know about it either until I saw it, but it said...
It
said
the Punisher?
The Punisher was manager Zeb Coulter.
See.
So I just learned that the other day myself.
See, you learn something new every day on
Yeah.
this show.
Facebook and Twitter helps with that stuff.
But yeah, I thought it was a decent segment, but... I guarantee I'll put every goddamn dime I own that... How do you pronounce Rusev?
Borsev.
Well,
because he's boring.
I mean, his real name?
Rusev. There you go.
I don't even know.
Or
But I
Rusev, as
guarantee
you
you
used to
on
call him.
everything that I own that he will win at Battleground. I mean, there's no way in hell that they're gonna give Jack Swagger a win over him. No way. But it's good. It's good banter right now for.
And did you hear the pop when he did the Patriot Lock?
Oh yeah, I mean
the crowd went nuts. That was a huge pop.
You can't go wrong with United States versus any other country.
I mean that was a good move by creative because there's not really much you can do with those two.
Yeah,
so Swagger is falling off the table now.
Rusev, whatever his name is, they think he's going to be the next top heel in the company, and I can't. There's no way. But
they're trying to turn him into like a Yokozuna.
Yeah, that's very good. I could see them trying to do that, but I think Yoko was more dominant because he was just so much bigger and he had a better manager.
Yoko-uma.
My Yokozuna. But we'll see what happens after Battleground and with his future. But I don't see him doing a lot of hype with not a lot of payoff.
Yeah, but moving on. They cut backstage to Cena, pretty much crying in the back, talking to Reigns, and Cena's like, we're fighting 3 guys, we only have 2. John, shut the hell up, you're annoying. And then one thing I almost started laughing. Reigns got in his face, and I swear to God, Reigns said it. John, you need to believe. It sounded exact. I had to rewind it. Because when I was watching, it was like, John, just believe. I'm like...
No, well, that's... You know how Roman Reigns and the Shield were, so Roman Reigns took over the... Believe. Believe in that,
believe,
and all that.
It's believe. There's no O in believe.
Yeah, so... I can understand. I don't remember that segment. I must have, skipped it.
So when I was watching, I'm like, oh my God, he just said that. I was 100% sure he did. I was like, oh. But they just went back and forth for a little bit. Reigns tried to toughen Cena up, and there's no way he could toughen Cena up is if you throw a bowl of Fruity Pebbles in him in the morning. But moving on to probably a match that nobody here cares about, or anybody watching this per se. RVD versus Del Rio.
Well, that's
a terrible match.
It was bad, and
bad match.
That's what we were talking about this last episode or the couple episodes before that, is what RVD has become in the WWE.
No, he's an old-time jobber.
Yeah, he's a.
But job to people that you're trying to bring up, not to a guy who's leaving the company
why
soon, who
still
is beyond
pushing,
stale.
Why they're still pushing that guy, I don't know why they're still pushing him, but
I don't understand.
I don't either. I mean, there's not. Alberto Del Rio is not that good to begin with, and he's said he's going to leave soon, and you're pushing him. I don't understand that. But I mean, Rob Van Dam is the top jobber. I don't remember what I called it last time, but I'm trying to still coin the phrase of these guys that are considered main eventers at one time, but are not jobbers.
He is on the AARP card for WWE.
Yeah, he's that's
probably the best way.
I thought maybe Miz was going to be on that, but Miz got that little upset against.
Yeah, they might be bringing Miz up a little bit.
Sheamus, but I think maybe they're just hyping Miz just for the battle. I don't know. I mean, but poor Rob Van Dam, he's just there to job to any guy just to make a good a fill-in match look good.
He needs the money for his weed.
Hey, but he's probably getting paid really well. And,
Oh yeah.
And that's why he's probably like, you know what, I'm done. There's nothing I can do. And if I do ever get the opportunity to carry the company, he probably can't do it anymore. He's probably told Vince, he's like, I can't be even an Intercontinental Champion. I can't be World Champion. I can't. If they brought back the European Champion, I can't be that. I mean, I can't put that schedule in. So
It's like really.
he is what he is, and you know.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I was a big Van Dam fan. I know you hated him, but
I liked him back in like the mid '90s in ECW, but
yeah. And when he came to WWE, and I mean,
and then he beat Cena at One Night Stand or whatever it was.
He was now, like you said, he is the same guy over and over again, and that's and he's now older.
But he's good. He's good at it, but it's just the same thing.
Yeah, and he could never talk.
Mm,
He could never talk, and so he's a high paid jobber right now, and I think he's happy with it. I don't think he gives a rat's ass.
I wouldn't care too. I'm getting paid to come out for 10 minutes a week, you know.
And hopefully he
God
can.
bless him.
He can live this out as long as he can and save all the money he can and get paid by Vince. Say, hey, and then do a couple of independent shows here and there.
Cops are after us. But moving on, we still got a bit to talk about. We had someone's coming to kill us again, I think. We had Divas match, which nobody's really going to care about. You had Nikki Bella versus Alicia Fox and Cameron.
Yeah,
It was one of Nikki's better matches. I mean, she's not good, but it looked a little better. But and she pushed through a bit of the match. She had the edge, and then she ended up losing at the end. Yeah. And what was with that finisher Alicia Fox had?
what was it?
It was like she like wrapped her leg around. She was like, "Oh, here, let me just lay your face down on the ground very gently."
Oh yeah, that was Fox that did that, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm like, was that supposed to hurt?
Yeah, yeah. That look when you see it, if you watch Raw again, you see it happen. Like you said, it happened, and you're like, "Oh, that's how she lost." Oh, okay. Like I didn't think that was as devastating as it should have been. But,
No.
Hey, maybe they just wanted to be like, all right, get this crap off the team.
Yeah, but that's pretty. I'm not gonna get into it. But Nikki ended up losing.
Yeah.
Who cares? But we had everyone was waiting for the whole Sting cryptic message thing that they saw on Twitter. And
here's the thing I want to talk. Go ahead.
And it ended up being just for the WWE 2K15 game. If you pre-order it, you get his character as downloadable content. A lot of people thought he was returning. If you go online, I think I might have posted something about things that were included in his contract that he signed. There wasn't really much about making any appearances. It was a lot of backstage stuff, but nothing about him wrestling. He has said he did state after he signed that he would like to have a match.
So did he officially sign though? Because I heard that he did that, but he's not officially signed. Nobody knows really what he's doing.
That's what I read in an article online. It didn't say anything about signing, but it just said what his contract included. So the contract could be written up. He didn't sign it, but there is a contract out for him stating all of his perks and everything. But
okay, here's what I saw when I saw that. And if you listen to the crowd on Monday Night Raw, when they had the symphony doing their thing, and saw the guy walk through the rafters, and you see his legs and all that, and everybody knows this. I mean, this was the biggest thing you could do. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would have if Sting would have showed up that night with what they did, and had the symphony orchestra on the stage, and do what they did, and play that song, and then everybody looked back with the Sting, and then Sting came out. Oh my God, that was the big. But instead, it was just for 2K15.
Yeah, it was for a damn game.
Oh my God! I had the crowd. If you listen to the crowd goes nuts. The crowd is and then they boo the crap out of it when it says only 2K15, and the crowd's like, oh boo, and then they go to commercial. That you wasted all that knowledge and all that awesomeness of bringing Sting in like that. I mean, that was awesome. Like they had the symphony, like just real cryptic, kind of like whatever Sting wanted to do with the 714 thing, and then have that going on. Oh my, that would have been the best thing ever. Sting could have probably been. They would have had him, even though he's old and can't wrestle, become the heavyweight champion in the next pay-per-view. It was so good. Like it was so good. I was like, oh my God, it's giving me chills. And they were like, oh, he's going to be on 2K15.
Yeah, we're going to put him in
I'm
the
like,
video game.
oh my God, you wasted all that time for that?
Yep.
That was so good. I mean, that was
They built it up good with this Twitter stuff, all speculation, and then...
And then you have the symphony just playing his song, and it kind of has the same... It goes the same way that he was in WCW, and then they show him, and then he's coming out of the... walking down, and then all of them, like, turn, and they all got the Sting, and they're like, 2K15. What? Are you... Yeah. Oh, my God. Who was running that show?
That killed the show right there for me.
I was like, this would have been Sting coming out. If Sting would have came out and said, woo, and then walked back, not woo, like how Sting would do his woo. Yeah, and then walked right back into the locker room, it would have been the best Raw of all time.
Yes.
Just from that intro alone. But it was a freaking commercial for 2K15.
Which I'm not buying.
Unbelievable. I mean, Jesus Christ, you put that much thought into that.
All that effort for that whole cryptic message thing,
And then the way it happened, I mean, I loved how they did it.
Yeah,
you got to put it on TV. Like live TV. You got to have Sting come out. Or I heard he was maybe via satellite, because I saw the stuff on the internet about Rock being like via satellite, and Rock's like, "Yeah, way to go, brother." That's how I do it. But anything, not 2K15, and you'll never see Sting again.
I said that's probably all we're gonna see is Sting. I'm thinking. But so calm down a little bit here.
Hated it. Loved it, but hated it.
We're only halfway through the show, and this video's running a long time. But next match, the new guy who was pooped on Vince's desk, we're thinking, Cesaro versus Big E.
Cesaro comes out with no Paul Heyman.
No Paul Heyman, and then right away Lawler. Oh, he's fired. He's fired. Oh, he should have been fired. He should be. Lawler, retire. Retire. We're I'm glad you're healthy after what happened and everything. That's great. No, congratulations. Hope you live a long life, but time to retire. You're terrible in commentary. You don't know what you're talking about,
and you're not even really talking that much anymore.
But it ended up anyway. Big E beat Cesaro, and I don't know. Cesaro pulled his hand down Ziggler. That's all I can think of, because they were pushing Cesaro to be the future top face of the company after he was done with the Heyman thing. And now he hasn't won a match on Raw in a month.
No.
He's lost 3 straight.
A lot of rumors on the internet, Facebook, wherever you find your rumors. They said they're not big on Cesaro again. They hated Cesaro. They liked him. Put Paul Heyman with him. Now they don't like him again.
And it's like,
and when he came out with Paul Heyman, I'm like, well, Cesaro, you're done, brother. I'm like, they don't like you. I don't know why they don't like you, but there's no.
The guy's got so much in-ring talent.
Yeah, he does.
He's so much. Yeah, he is, and they're just.
And I noticed. I don't know if he had it last week, but I noticed this week he's got knee pads. He had knee pads on this week.
Yeah, again.
He didn't have
those like straps on his thighs or whatever. Yeah.
And then he had knee pads, and now they're like, well, you and Rob Van Dam could compete for the best jobber on Monday Night Raw, and I was like, wow. And then, like, 2 segments later, they show Paul Heyman in the back talking. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So, Paul Heyman's only good client. He had 2 of them. One is
one
not fucking coming back. Sorry with the F word, but I kind of went for him.
Just go for it.
And the other one will come back whenever he, like Brock Lesnar, whenever he wants. So, CM Punk's gone, and Brock Lesnar, who is...
Well, Brock Lesnar's going to be Plan C, I think, for the Authority.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
That's a lot of people are talking about. Yeah, as long as he beats the hell out of Cena, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Those 2 already had a feud already, so to put them at it again, I just don't get it. But moving on, we had Jericho come out. Did his little skit, and he was talking about getting revenge on Bob Barker. I thought that was badass.
I thought everything Jericho said was good.
Oh, edit.
And then he ended up, like he said the Bob Barker thing, and then he reinstated that, or re-mentioned, I don't know how you want to say it.
Say WrestleMania 31 main event.
That he was
Y2J versus Bob Barker.
he was the first undisputed heavyweight champion by beating Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, that was that. I was like, yeah, that was good.
I think Jericho really established himself again. He's like, all right, I'm the guy. And here's the shocker of it when I was watching it. When Bray Wyatt was talking in the back, they started chanting
boring.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, here we go. I'm like, uh-oh.
I was like, these are the same fans that were supporting Bray Wyatt a month ago when he was fighting Cena. Now just because he's fighting Jericho, they're going to say it's boring.
I don't know if they're just...
I don't know if just because there's a lot of Jericho fans.
Let this guy, or they're Jericho fans?
That was my
Which maybe he's a lot popular than I
when
thought
Wyatt
he
still
is.
talks, I'm still like, God, that's really good.
Yeah, it's good, but maybe he says the same thing all the time, and I kind of see that. Now. I'm like, all right, dude, just start wrestling more. He doesn't do nothing.
It's not bad enough to call it boring by any means yet.
No. I was shocked by that. I wouldn't call it boring either. But
I
I'm
did not
all
like
right,
that.
Bray, you need to start wrestling like good man. Like start wrestling. Have that all-time great Jericho match, because I think you need it now, because people are starting to call you out. Yeah, you can talk, but man, the smart wrestling fans be like, all right, yeah, you can talk, but we haven't seen you.
Well, I said he's going to fight one of the best wrestlers of all time, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, he did fight Cena, so he had to work with a log.
But
Wyatt ended up getting the upper hand on Jericho, which I would assume Jericho will win this Sunday.
That's interesting to me, because I thought like we were talking about,
Jericho's going to win this Sunday, then they're going to go to the next pay-per-view, and Wyatt will win that, then we'll go to the pay-per-view after that.
That'll be the determining, which probably Wyatt will win.
I would think Wyatt would win.
Just because Jericho will leave for
there
to push
Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. And Jericho's got more interests out of wrestling than Wyatt. Wyatt's going to be there for the long run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was shocked about that. That was one of my
when they started chanting, I was like, what?
Yeah, they're like, all right, we're enough of that. Just get in the ring and wrestle.
So I understand where he's coming from, get in the ring and wrestle more, but like I said, he was fighting Cena for 2 months, so not a lot you can do with him with that. But moving on, we had AJ Lee came back.
Here's where go ahead. Here's where I'm gonna go on a rant.
Uh-oh. I think this has something to do with this guy right here.
Yes. Is that CM Punk hat? I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
CM Punk out in the Nexus shirt, get the cash there. And AJ came out and wrestled Eva Marie. Yeah, who's the female version of John Cena.
You know what? I gave her a little credit today, because she hasn't wrestled. I haven't seen her wrestle in a long time. She held her own a little bit. I was actually watching her to mess up. I was watching her to mess up, and I think she messed up like twice.
She's getting better, but one thing you gotta remember with her was she was only at the
Widow's. What do they call? What is
the Black Widow?
She let the Black Widow happen in a cool way.
Yeah.
And she didn't mess it up. So I give credit.
I was waiting for her to fall or something.
Yeah, I give her credit. I mean,
granted, AJ is only like 65 pounds.
Well, true. I mean, you can't.
All that's in her ass.
Yeah. In her eyes. She's got big eyes. See what I did there? She's got big eyes. But I thought it was decent, but all right. And then the crowd started chanting.
I'm gonna sit back, let him go, because I don't really know where he's gonna go with this.
Getting off page a little bit on Monday Night Raw. Here's what I think about CM Punk. I love CM Punk. I was the biggest CM Punk fan. I used to watch him wrestle.
IWA Mid-South at the Lincoln Center.
Yeah, Lincoln Center, when there was 5 people chanting his name and all that. Now the crowd gets mad at WWE and all this, and they keep chanting for CM Punk. I started to realize what's going on, and CM Punk left us. CM Punk knows wrestling more than anybody that I know. He knows more than I do.
Oh, yeah.
He knows as much as Triple H. He knows professional wrestling. He's not new to it. There was no curveball thrown to him. There's politics. There's roads. He's got a freaking 100-foot camper to travel him around. There's no reason for it. Blah blah blah. And here's where I get mad. I love CM Punk. CM Punk's my favorite wrestler of all time. Will always be. Love him more than anything. Love more than any wrestler. More than Hogan. More than anybody. But he left us. He did. And he didn't even say bye. He didn't say nothing. He didn't do an Edge. He didn't do Hogan or come back or nothing. He just after Roman. Yeah, there was politics, and he didn't like how the WWE was treating him. I understand that. That's cool. He got frustrated. How old is he? I'm 34. I think CM Punk's 35.
I think he's about the same age as you.
I think he's a year older than me. And okay, and from the guy that in 2011 in Vegas when he made that, and then he just left.
He almost kind of went back on his words that night.
He didn't say goodbye to nobody. He didn't say nothing. He didn't and he loved wrestling, and he just quit. For all the fans that and like I said millions of times, I love CM Punk, and if anybody says fuck CM Punk, I'll slap him in the face. But CM Punk just left and said, I'm done, I'm taking my ball, I'm going home. I mean, he didn't come out on Raw and make this big another pipe bomb. If he would have came out and pipe bomb and said, you know what, I don't like what's going on, blah blah blah, this and that, I quit, F WWE, I can't do it anymore, it's killing me, bye, I apologize, thank you very much.
Yeah.
He didn't say nothing, he just left. And everybody's yelling CM Punk, CM Punk, like it's the WWE's fault that WWE's treating the same wrestlers the same way all over and over. A lot of people don't like where they're getting put, but they have the same schedule all the time. So the schedule, you can't bitch about the schedule.
Yeah.
Now you can bitch about the politics in WWE because politics actually suck, and CM Punk was getting railroaded, big time. Fuck off. and
being attacked.
And I understand that, but you can't just all of a sudden jump up and say bye. I'm never coming back again. What is that?
we got our Jericho fan in the house over here. May have mentioned in the past episode. We're still being attacked by smoke. Remember my first year.
Whoa. Right there.
Blooper reel for later.
I was on my punk chant.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, but even going.
So I think that one.
So we got Jericho, who is back, and CM Punk is not. Just to let you know. It's not raining, is it?
No.
Oh, God, all the smoking on my nose. We can skip this next part.
What was the next part? Oh!
What are
15
you
and
going
bone.
off of?
He's got all the
I got like the play-by-play on my phone from last
Raw.
night.
So we were just doing a Raw recap.
Do we have to talk about this next part?
He beat the biggest. He beat. Now,
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. He went from beating a little bull to the biggest athlete
Wasn't a real bull.
in WWE history. This is the Great Khali, and I'm telling you.
Khali hasn't won a match in 4 years.
'Cause he doesn't
So what are we
believe.
all believing now? Is that
Yes,
what's
we
going
are.
on?
Yes, we are. Alex believes too. He just
Yeah.
doesn't.
I believe when I say my prayers at night, yeah. Yeah, but you know who's going to be the one in 15 and 1? Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler will beat him, mark my words.
Because Sunday is going to be the.
Well, that doesn't count if he loses. It's a battle royal.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'll still be 15 and 0.
15 and Bo.
Oh.
You never heard of the Bo Pops? Yeah. That's just,
Okay, we're done with that. We said our piece with that. I'm done.
well, Bo Dallas.
Well, one thing that did make me laugh about him real quick was when they were fighting outside the ring and got back in. He goes, "Bad Giant." That was funny. I like that.
Genius.
That was funny.
He's got world title written all over. Hey, I just okay. Here's a little scenario. You had Bray Wyatt. First time he was on TV tonight. They chanted boring. First time Bo was on TV tonight. They didn't chant boring.
Cesaro fell asleep.
I'm
You
just-
can't say anything.
no,
You're falling
And
asleep.
did Bo leave?
They were Bo leaving and Bo Dallas.
Well, those fans were stupid last night when they're anyway. So that's all I can say about that. I did because he's terrible.
get the gist of the CM Punk thing.
But
Get out of that.
no, we
Added
talked
it
about
to
the
work.
Blow Dallas stuff, and then we were talking about the CM Punk thing, which I do agree with him with, but no, I didn't really agree with that back after first stab, but now that he mentioned it, he'd pretty much screwed over all of his hard fans. They're not coming out and saying a proper goodbye. He's always going to be my favorite wrestler of all time. Always love him, but he had to go about doing it differently. But anyway, after that we had the Blow Dallas garbage, which we talked about. And then, anyway, we had
15 and Bo, I heard. See, last time we were 10 and Bo. I'm just saying.
But moving on,
15 and Bo. Go ahead.
we had Heyman walk backstage when he was supposedly fired because Lawler. Oh, well, he should be fired. He's terrible. Lawler retired, but anyway, he went back to the Steph and Triple H about Plan C, since Plan B is now injured. Yeah, Seth Rollins is injured, by the way.
I heard it wasn't real. In real life.
Online it is. If you check it out, it's supposedly he really did.
I heard that
It's rumored. It's not.
Well, here's the thing. I say it's not. You say it is. We'll see. See what
Yeah,
happens.
time will
He was
tell when
playing
more
it
comes
off.
out.
So
Time will tell when more
he's
comes
playing
out.
it up, I would say.
Yes.
Sure.
He did the whole Plan C thing, which I think could be something for Lesnar coming back soon. But
Yeah, it's pretty good. I could see that happening. I
and
mean,
it's the only,
see how good it's going to be, but it's pretty good that you think about it. Like, that could be the next angle.
I also thought, Punk could come back, but we all know that's never going to happen. I also thought, maybe his Plan C would be like a Sting thing, or maybe like a Shane McMahon thing. But they would need a Paul Heyman, though. That's why I kind of threw those two ideas out.
Oh, how did Raw end, though?
Oh, yeah, well, Raw ended with
See, I mean, I understand that.
Flair came out after that.
Yeah, no, yeah. See, okay. And Flair was doing his
And
thing.
he was intoxicated again, I'm pretty sure.
I love what Flair did. That was the other thing. That's the last, it's at the end. I love what Flair did. He was like, woo, I'm trying to be that guy that Flair is. He's a womanizer. He's one of the best heavyweight champions of all time. Flair and Hulk Hogan. I mean, so, he's got to do his thing, and he's still jucking and jiving and dancing like an idiot. And
Then he hits on Renee Young, and Ambrose is going to kick his ass.
yeah, but I don't think he really hit on her that bad.
No,
It's just I don't think he knew what he was doing at the end. Like when,
No.
like when Reigns came out. Like Reigns came out, and
Yeah,
Flair
and
was
Flair was
like,
just like,
he's
okay,
like,
I'm gonna
he's like, well,
walk
you're
out."
John Cena,
John
and
Cena.
and the crowd's like, what?
Did-
Flair,
did-
no.
Wasn't he just talking about Reigns the last time he was on there?
Yeah, I'm like, they were like, Flair, no. And then Flair, walks down the ramp, and then Cena comes out, and this is the big thing, the big story, is that I think from now on, that the World Heavyweight title, the old WCW title, is done. And I even said this, now this is before we even had this show, and they should have done this like 6 months ago when Flair came out the first time, and I even said this before.
Get rid of the WWE
I said-
title and keep the heavyweight title.
I said,
They did it the wrong way.
I said, when Flair came out, have that WCW World Heavyweight title, and give it to Flair and say, you know what, Flair, this was yours. You had this more than anybody ever. You have it. We're going to retire that. After it was undisputed title, and then have it, and then have one belt, one champion, and they kept it. And now they're doing it now. Now there's rumors on the internet saying that when John Cena gave that title to Ric Flair, and Flair was like, no, it's yours. And I'm like, Flair, understand what you're doing.
Yes.
Understand what's going on. He's giving it to you because this is the title that you
That's his
had,
title.
that
will always
you
be,
defended more than
WWE heavyweight title will
Yeah.
always be his title.
Yeah, and just you take it, and I heard when it went off the air, Cena did it again.
Yeah.
To Ric Flair.
Yeah, and then
Cena
he took
did it again to Flair, and then he took it and said, "Oh, thank you." He should have done that 6 months ago, or 5 months ago, or 4 months
Yes.
ago when they first had the undisputed title, like when they combined them.
Yeah.
And then the next day on Raw, they had Flair come out, and then the perfect opportunity to be like, "All right, Flair, this has always been yours. We're gonna retire this with you. You will always be the face of this title.
Yeah.
Here you
Yep.
go. Which would, and I said this millions of times before we even started this show. That's how the best way to not carry two belts around and have that, the WWE title they got now as the WWE World Heavyweight title. One title, one guy. That's all you need. You don't need to carry two. You should have gave it to Ric Flair that day when he came back 4 months ago and said, "Here, this is yours. We're never going to put it on TV again unless you're here with it."
Yep.
Boom. And they did it again this time. And this time it might stick. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, if you go on WWE.com, I heard that, I didn't look it up myself, but I heard it was posted on another website that they actually took the WCW title off of their website. They just have the WWE belt on
which
it now.
is... Thank you. They should have done it 4 months ago. I'm telling you, there's two things I said tonight that should have happened, and it happened. I'm like...
2 out of 3 falls in it.
The 2 out of 3 falls, the
The
world
tag
title
team, yeah.
title, the world title,
The world title.
the WWE world title.
Okay, but I want to wrap this up because it got way too long. We got one final thing left. We got the final match of the night, which was terrible. God,
It wasn't very
the ending was cool the way it ended. Everyone was doing their finisher. You had the Cena and Reigns versus Orton, Rollins, and Kane. And Rollins was believed to be hurt. There's reports saying that may actually be true. He may be injured.
I don't think...
Time will tell with that.
I heard it wasn't
We'll
true.
probably hear in the coming days whether or not that was true, or it's all a story. It did look like it, but it's WWE, so who knows? But it was didn't it end up being a no contest?
Yeah, I just watched it. It ended up being no. Yeah, it was. I guess it was no contest. But here's the bitch of it is Roman Reigns ended up being main supreme out of everybody at the end of the night.
Which means he's not going to win.
Which he's not going to win. And
Well, see,
guarantee
I
John
said-
Cena's going to win that.
I
because
said
he
after
just
Money in the
won
Bank that
title.
Cena would still
Yeah.
hang on to it until he
They don't
fights
give it up.
Lesnar.
Yeah. Maybe SummerSlam something might happen, but you're not going to lose the title at Battle.
Especially at Battleground. I mean, the Battleground card looks pretty good.
It does. It'll be an interesting pay-per-view to watch, but not in any way, shape, or form is John Cena losing that title at Battleground.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, maybe they might do it to where they might screw Roman Reigns. But see, I'm thinking Roman Reigns is going to be part of that. He's got to be part of something big at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And I know they're going to bring Brock back and be something big with Brock at SummerSlam. With Cena Brock and stuff like that, which I would love to see Cena Brock because, to be honest with you, I love Brock Lesnar, but Cena can hold his own with Brock to where Cena would be like, all right, dude, if you want to be, sloppy and physical with me, I'm going to knock your ass out too. Like, don't mess with me. Like, where he did it with, who was it last year when he won, when Brock won that? He went against, who did he go against?
He fought Punk last year.
Yeah, and then,
That was a great match, too.
It was a great match, and Punk carried that match. But
Yeah.
I think Brock and CM Punk, I love like I said, CM Punk, I love him. But if Brock wanted to throw CM Punk across the ring and just beat the poop out of him, he probably would. But CM Punk held
He
his
said
own.
poop.
Well, we can't say shit, so I say.
He just said it, so it doesn't
So,
matter anymore.
And CM Punk held his own and all that. I mean, that was just the tip of the iceberg for CM Punk being like, man, I hate all this crap that's going on. But, all right, I lose against Brock at SummerSlam. So now we go to blah, blah, and then we go to the Royal Rumble. And I'm number 1 in the Royal Rumble. And then Batista wins the World Heavyweight title. Or no, wins the
Royal Rumble.
Wins the Royal Rumble. And then that CM Punk is like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not bleeding and dying for the sport where I was king. And...
But anyway, this episode...
Say goodbye, Punk. Come back and say goodbye.
Yeah, that's all we want. But this episode's gotten on really long. This might turn into a 2-part. If it does, I apologize. I'll see what happens going on when I edit it later on. We had a little interruption with the little Jericho entrance from our Jericho-holic next door. But it's going to be it for this episode. As said before, if you want to follow us, we have a Facebook and a Twitter account. Links are down below in the description. If you disagree with anything we said or want to comment on things we said, go ahead and comment in the comment section below. And as always, guys, it's Alex, Bill, Second City Sleeper signing out. YouTube. See you later.